All right, CNT125, we're working on our IP version 6 routing lab. The first podcast, we literally got everything cabled and configured. So we have a basic IP version 6 network up and running, at least the network piece. We haven't dealt with the clients yet. We'll get there. But before we go any further, I want to look at some of the things that's going on in the network so far. So we're going to connect in the router, and let's look at the routing table. So as I connect into, I just picked one of the routers, and I do show IP route like we're used to. When I hit the enter key, I see nothing. And at first that's going to panic you, but when you stop and think about it, this is an IP version 4 command. It's not going to show me anything. I have no IP version 4 addresses configured on my router. If I take a look, there is no IP version 4 addresses. It's on my IP6. So I actually have to do show IP version 6 route. I actually have to specify, please show the IP version 6 routing table. Now that I did that, it goes, oh, you want to see the IP version 6. Okay. So if I look now, I see the FD00A:A:A network. I see the A::A::B network. And then through RIP, I learned the A::A::C network. So I'm actually showing the A, the B, and the C subnets in my IP version 6 network. Things should now make sense. So what I'll do is, before I go any further, I'm going to copy that because I need to submit that with my lab to show that my network is up and running. So I just copied that. I'm going to open my text file here. I will paste that in, and I'm going to save that as IP version 6 routing table, something of that nature, .txt. And that I will have for submission to D2L. And again, that shows your IP version 6 network up and running because I see the A subnet, the B subnet, and the C subnet all showing up in your routing table. Excellent. Okay. If by chance I did not see all three networks, I need to go back and do some troubleshooting, and I'm going to look for here any kind of typos that I might have in my config. And I would need to retype those pieces to make sure they show up correctly. And that would go for both routers. I would need to make sure I do that. Oops. Little typo. It's going to time out on me or give me a headache. All right, I'll let it run for a minute. I would need to run that on both, do a show run on both, and look for those typos and fix them so that I get all three networks in my routing table. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to start getting my clients connected and configured. All right. Just like the routers, our client addresses are going to be the same kind of format. I'm going to use the subnet for the first half, and the second half, I'm going to use the second half of the MAC address. Hopefully you remember from 120, MAC address, the first half of the MAC address is the identifier for the company that made the NIC. The second half of the MAC address is unique for that particular device, or that NIC, if you will. So if I use the second half of a MAC address to build my IP version 6 address, it should be unique. That's the idea behind it. So I'm going to need to do a lot of commands and copy and pasting to build all this and get it in place. Okay? So let's do the first one kind of slowly, and then we should be able to kind of move on from there. So for this guy right here, PC1, I'll open him up, and I'm going to get my map handy. He is over here. He is on this network talking to this router. So we're going to go to the desktop, we're going to go ipconfig, and we need to plug in not the IP4, but the IP6 address. But to do this, I need the MAC. So I'm going to go to the command prompt, ipconfig /all, and I'm going to get the MAC address. Here it is right here. Here's my physical address. I just need the last half. I need this half right there. The first half identifies the maker, the last half unique to the machine. So I'm going to copy that. I got to make sure I get all of it. Come on. There we go. Right click, copy. Now that I have that, I can go back here, and for my IP version 6 address, I can paste that in the second half. The first half, FD00:A::A::A. Watch for typos. 99 out of 100 times, if workstations have wrong IPv6 addresses, it's a typo that we humans made, because this is a little more tedious to deal with. So I'm going to plug that in, my FD00A:A:A. That's the network I'm attached to. I'm going to use a double colon here, because any places it needs, any numbers it needs to fill in, it'll fill in with zeros for me. Then I'm going to paste in my MAC address, but I do need to change the format because it wants colon, like so. So double colon will fill any extra characters in with zeros for me. Then my 2 digits, colon, 2 digits, colon, 2 digits. Then I'll say it's 64. The first 64 is the network number. I'll leave the link alone. I'm going to fill the gateway in just a minute. Okay, I'll close that for now because I need to go get the gateway from the router. I need the gateway from the router. So I'm going to close that for just a minute. I'm going to go to the router, and the gateway address I need is the address of the gigabit 00. So I'm going to do show interface IPv6 interface. There we go. Interface, we need gigabit 0/0. That's the address that my computer is attached to, the FD00A:A:A subnet. I need the actual IPv6 address of this port, and there he is right there, FD0A:A:A, and then the rest that it filled in. I need that. I'm going to do a right-click copy on this guy so that I can go here to this machine and I can paste it in, and I don't have to type it all. Now that'll apply the default gateway for me. That's the router interface I'm attached to. So if I close that, open my command prompt and say ipconfig, well, that's going to give me ipconfig of the station, but I really want IPv6 config. That way it just shows me the IPv6 stuff. And here is my IPv6 address, and there is my gateway. So if I were to, and I might be jumping ahead of the gun here a little bit, but if I were to copy this, I should be able to ping myself, which I do. I get successful, and then I should be able to ping the gateway. So I'm going to highlight this guy, copy, and I'm going to ping him now. Ping, right-click, paste. Oh, come on. And I'm getting my gateway successfully. So I know what I'm doing is correct. Okay, that's the process I'm going to use. And really, it's a lot of like organized copy pasting is the only way to describe it. I'm going to go to PC2. I'm going to get its MAC address, ipconfig/all. I need his MAC. There he is right there. I'm not grabbing it off the Bluetooth. I don't want that one. I want my Ethernet. The last half of the address. There he is right there. Copy. I'm going to go back here to IPv6 config, FD00:A:A:A, double colon, right click paste, go in and fix the formatting, /64, and there's at least the IP. I'll get the gateway in a minute. I'm going to get the gateway from here, and I can literally go back in. This is still my show gigabit 0/0, and I can grab this interface right here. There he is right there. That's the address. Right click copy. Come back into here. Plug that in as my gateway. And I should be able to close this, go to command prompt, and if I really want to jump to the chase, I can do ping and paste that gateway address. Ping that gateway address, and I have it successful. So I know those two workstations are set. I'm going to do these guys real quick. I'm going to get the gateway address up here. I'm just not going to waste any time. Show IPv6 interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 on this one. And I'm going to grab this address right off the bat. There he is. Copy. I'm going to come to this workstation, and I will plug that in. Then I will go get its MAC address, ipconfig/all. I need his MAC address. His MAC address is right here. Copy. Go back here to this, FD00 A:/A:/C this time, double colon, paste, fix the formatting, /64, and I should be able to ping this gateway. So I'm just going to recopy that so I don't have to type anything. Ping, paste, I'm going to paste the gateway in. There we go. We have a ping to the gateway. That guy's connected. We're going to open this guy. Desktop ipconfig. I'll paste the gateway address in so I don't have to type it in later. I'm going to get his MAC address. Slide up here, 44. Copy, and again, I'm getting it right here from the Ethernet. Okay. ipconfig. fd00:A:/A:/C, double colon, paste in the MAC, fix the formatting, /64. There's the gateway address. I'll just copy him so I don't have to type him again. Command prompt, and I will ping the gateway again. So I have all 4 workstations up and at least pinging their gateway. I just I crammed together almost 2 steps here on you. I applied the IP. I verified with IPv6. And I actually pinged, I jumped right to the default gateway and pinged that. But here's the intermediate steps. Ping : 1 is like pinging your loopback. And IPv6, if I do ping : 1, that's an IPv6 loopback. So I wanted you to try that. I wanted you to ping yourself and then ping the gateway. And again, this is one of those times, IPv6 config, I can do some copy paste here to make my life easier. I grab the gateway address this way so I don't have to type it in. And then I can turn right around and ping, paste that in. And I don't have to worry about trying to type these long addresses. Copy paste is your friend right now. Copy paste is your friend. Okay, so I'll save my config here so I don't lose anything. I have all PCs set up with their IPv6 address, gateways, and they're pinging their gateways. So what we're going to do next is, in the next podcast, we're going to start doing some pings through the network, and then we're actually going to do some packet sniffing of those pings.